We were just pointing out all the goodies we got today, so be sure to partake. Deb has put together a day of beautiful teachings for us. It is oh gosh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't get the right candles out. Okay, let me just grab the Advent candle.
Are we allowed to throw gifts for him up there now? I have a banana too.
So this is the Sunday, the second Sunday of Advent, which has the theme of peace. Last week we lit this candle for hope and tried to generate a little hopefulness with a little detour here and there last week. But nevertheless, we try to remain hopeful. And then I'll light the second candle this week, which is for peace. Okay, great. And who's on Zoom? Anybody, now that Alan's just taken a bite? Jen and Janet. Okay. Hi, Jen and Janet on Zoom.
Hi.
Barbara's planning to read the land acknowledgement, but I'll go ahead and read it. Something that we've decided to begin to do. We acknowledge the Lanai Lenape as the original people of this land, and we acknowledge their continuing relationship with their territory. In our acknowledgement of the continued presence of the Lenape people in their homeland, we affirm the aspiration of the great Lenape chief, Tamanend, that there be harmony between the indigenous people of this land and the descendants of the immigrants to this land, as long as the rivers and creeks flow and the sun and the moon and the stars shine. May it be so. Aho. So now Deb will light the peace candle this week and offer a prayer.
This is a very short Buddhist prayer that we say on Bodhi Day. And it's simply, may Buddha be forever with us to lead us on the path to enlightenment and bring us all eternal happiness.
Thank you, Deb, for preparing this day. And Lori's here. It feels nice and peaceful today, doesn't it? It's kind of a peaceful energy. So thank you for bringing that. Yeah, it started the minute you walked in. Oh, Larry Hall's got a wicked cold. That's where he was last week. And I talked to him this week, and it sounds like it's like an AI generated Larry Hall or something, like a total different voice, like laryngitis affected his voice. So he, honest to God, it's like, I don't think I'm talking to Larry Hall. Anyway, so he doesn't feel bad. He just sounds kind of different. So anyway, well, so in his voice, we'll say the Pebble Credo, and remember everybody who isn't here today for whatever reason. We live a life by love transformed, by spirit empowered, by creative imagination guided, in peace with all. Okay, I'm calling it the Gathering Song because we didn't do it first, but let's do that version of Peace Train with folks from all over the world. I didn't put lyrics on the back because you guys know this.
Now I've been happy lately, thinking about the good things to come. And I believe it could be something good has begun.
Oh, I've been smiling lately, dreaming about the world as one. And I believe it could be someday it's gonna come.
'Cause I'm on the edge of darkness, and there rides the peace train. Oh, peace train, take this country, come take me home again.
Now I've been smiling lately, thinking about the good things to come. And I believe it could be something good has begun. Peace train sounding louder, slide on the peace train.
Got more dogs than people today.
Everyone jump upon the peace train.
Rendin chomchima arkidam fata seila de mangaron unade kadi fadi ma joni eto mandola ar abbo dam 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 bunam dam watadi ma unade fadi ma joni joni unto kongo.
Peace train sounding loud and glide on the peace train.
Oh, I've been crying lately, thinking about the world as it is. Why must we go on hating? Why can't we live in bliss? The peace train sounding louder, glide on the peace train. Ooh, come on, peace train. Peace train, holy road. Everyone jump upon the peace train. Ooh, come on, come on, come on.
Come on and ride on the peace train.
Come on, come on, come on. Let's come on, peace train.
Come on, come on, come on. Peace train.
Thanks, Alan. I hope Winnie will come back. Will she come? Is she just maybe go into the car? So he's going to sit in the car. She's what? Oh, she's getting a talking to. Oh, good. Okay. Come back, honey. She just said, I know the words, man. I was just trying to sing. Okay, I don't see any visitors. So just glad that everyone's a familiar face. We have some announcements. I know Nancy's got a great announcement about something to do at year end. Yeah, the fun, yeah. Can you hold that, baby?
About the 1:30 show, whatever runs around 1:30. It's 2 hours and almost 45 minutes long, so be prepared. And Wicked Wednesday Tower Theater. Also, don't forget Tina and Raphael's concert next Saturday. She is feeling a little under the weather. She was in the hospital, but she's a trooper, so she'll be here. And then on the last Sunday of the year, we'll do the burning of the greens like we always do, but we're also going to do food. We'll do some food sharing afterwards and maybe storytelling and just kind of gather as a group and say goodbye to this year.
Nancy had the idea that let's party at the end of the year. And we'll throw in a little Hanukkah too. It turns out that Hanukkah begins on Christmas night this year, and we won't have had the opportunity to do Hanukkah the Sunday before or Christmas Eve. So it'll just be a fun day. And so everybody bring your favorite thing
And
to
maybe we
eat or
could even
drink.
dress up a little bit, just a little, maybe a hat or something, some more jewelry.
So alt cash is not. So white tie for New Year's Eve, folks. Barbara already read the land acknowledgement. So other announcements. Besides Larry's Cold, mentioned Larry's Cold. Hi, Annie. Oh, is Annie a personal favorite of the boys, the boy and girl? How about birthdays? Oh, right. David Gibson was 39. So anybody else, and we'll sing. So David's that was the fourth. Was that the fifth? Michael?
I thought she was singing here, but she's supposed to be singing Felicia Rose.
Yeah, she's singing here on December 22nd at Celebration and doing a concert in the afternoon.
I just she's got about 5-6 albums.
Mhm.
It's like a shot. Anybody knows a shot?
Mhm. And kirtan and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's a big event. Thank you. Should have mentioned it, but I don't know if she reached out to Gary Schoenberg or the other way around, but Felicia Rose will be at Celebration on December 22nd. So that's the last Sunday of Advent, the last Sunday before Christmas. And Nancy will be helping us observe the winter solstice. And we'll have this individual who's supposed to be wonderful. I haven't heard her yet. She is doing, funny you should ask, Mike. Mhm. Mhm. Oh, that could very well be that it just hasn't, whatever yet. It was in the announcements. There was an announcement for, but anyway, so that will be in the afternoon. So it looks like it might be we'll get some food in. I think we're done with pizza for a while, aren't we? We kind of OD'd on pizza that last time. So let's get something else. That's the 22nd. And then the 29th, we'll do a kind of pea soup style meal, bring something festive and wonderful to eat or drink. All right, so sing. We got to sing. We're singing to David Gibson. Who else are we singing to? Anybody? Birthday coming up this week? No? No? Okay. Happy birthday, we love you. Cha-cha-cha. Happy birthday, and may all your dreams come true. When you blow out the candles, one light stays aglow. It's a love light in your eyes wherever you go. It's funny, says some, it's usually men too. Like my husband wasn't gonna, he was gonna turn 30 and we're not having any birthday. We didn't have any kids then. We're not doing my birthday. I don't want to be 30, blah, blah, blah. And so he happens to get some wisdom teeth removed or something. And the guy leaned on him, and, put a knee down. Like, it caused this huge pain. And then he's all feeling sorry for himself. So I had to run to Wegmans and grab a birthday cake and have a birthday after all. So anyway, aging. Now he's 73. So, hey, decided it's better to have the birthdays than not. So anyway, Michael. Okay, feet and with a microphone. Or okay.
Sorry, I can't. Okay.
Okay, rapido.
Okay, so if anybody you're familiar with Science of Mind, it's not unlike Course in Miracles, but it's very quick. It's very easy. It's called a little section, it's just one paragraph. Extremes of thought that defeat attempts to heal. But says the self-doubting student, I don't believe my thought is powerful enough to heal. I'm not the trained thinker. My education has been too limited. In addition, my willpower is so weak, I know I give up before my thought could influence my flesh. When the student really comes to understand that the healing process does not involve his willpower or struggle, but the infinite thinker through his thought becomes flesh, his consciousness of healing will be greatly strengthened. And that it's what I needed to hear this morning.
Yeah.
It was just so powerful.
Okay, thank you. Thank
Stop
you.
trying to just be.
I cannot grab it.
Like Yoda.
Oh,
Okay, Barbara, do you have something?
This is a catalog from a farm in,
Close to this microphone, then we'll have squeaking.
there's a community in Americus, Georgia, that's was founded in 1942. So it's almost a parallel to Bryn-Gwylyd. And we have a tradition of buying from them. It was founded by a Christian minister, is an interracial community at a time in the South when that just wasn't done. So at some point they had some harassment and they started selling their products, which include wonderful pecans, they're organic, peanuts, lots of goodies, cooked cakes. And so I have their catalog. I'm going to pass it around. It's their deadline for getting it by Christmas is Wednesday. They also happen to be involved, and I think Gary Culp tells this story with one of their board members founded Habitat for Humanity. So, and got connected with Jimmy Carter and met him there. So I'll pass that around if you want to, and I can try to post it in the announcements. They have an online catalog.
Also, there was a whole thing about how do you really pronounce pecan, and the natives said begun, like begun, almost with a B sound. And I grew up in a place in Alabama where I lived for a while, everybody had a pecan tree in their yard. And there was a whole thing about is it pecan pie or pecan pie? But anyway, begun. Tomato, yeah. Okay. There we go. And let us quiet our hearts and minds and think about the people who need our prayers. Many, many on a long list, including Joanne Wolke's mother, who fell and broke her leg this week. So her name is Loretta Wolke. And remember also Joanne's son, Tyler, whose cat died. It was cat Louie it was maybe 15 or so. She announced it last week. Is Joanne here? She is. Hi, Joanne. Blessings on your
Yes,
mother
hi.
for her recovery.
Thank you. She's doing much better. Thank you.
Good. We pray for Tom Legere, who's recovering from heart surgery. For Larry, you mentioned. He'll be back next week. For Julia and Gretchen Altabef. For Diana Young and her family, especially her mother, Betty. For Maria Starr and Janet Berkowitz. Elisa Davidson. Chris LaRue and Beverly LaRue. For Nancy and her relationship with her sister, Susan. For all family relationships, now that I think of it, most families have something that's not the happiest. Pray for Tina Meckies continuing her physical therapy. For Dave's friends, Diane Bynum and Kelly Benson. And for Louise Riney, Dave's cousin. For lovely, wonderful people who happen to be here, Annie, Norm, Dave, Moose. We pray for Chris Coolish and her father, Tony. For Jen Ferraro's family and her friend, Larry Hackett. For continued prayers and blessings for Latoya Russell and her daughter, Ayana. For Barbara's daughter, L'Oreal, and L'Oreal's sister, Genesis, and Barbara's sister, Sue, and her brother-in-law, Ed. For Chloe Eisman and her son, Joe, and for their relationship. For Judy Henderson and Suzanne Wolf. Now say the names of the people who you are carrying in your heart and who need our healing prayers. We ask that there be an end to war and hunger in our world, and that we may all work to lessen the suffering in this world. May the earth and all her life forms be cherished and allowed to thrive. And may the good that surrounds us in every direction be magnified 100-fold. And now you're invited to say the name of any loved one who has passed, or if this is the anniversary of the passing of someone you love. Caitlin and Anthony, and these are the children of Joanne Dench's brother. And so both in December. Did you say Artie? Artie. Oh, bless her. How long has she been gone? Hmm. Hmm. Others? Let's sing. We are surrounded by the light so bright. We are surrounded by God's healing love light. We are surrounded by the light so bright. We are surrounded by God's healing love light. Om. Now I think we'll have the offering without music and without baskets. We got the four-legged chorus going on today. We got 5 dogs, I think is 5 dogs is maybe a record. 5 or 6. Do we have 6? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Hmm. We need to get you're forgiven. Thank you, everyone. Did you check out the poinsettia? How awesome is that guy? Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for your gifts. We will try to keep using them well for the benefit of this community. And now I will happily turn over the rest of the day to Deb Viades with great joy.
Hi, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? No, not better. Okay, so today is December 8th, traditionally celebrated as Bodhi Day, the day Prince Siddhartha of India became enlightened and became Buddha Shakyamuni. So we're going to talk a little bit about what enlightenment is. I can. It's not my forte, Annie, so sorry. It is celebrated many different ways by many different traditions. Just like Christianity has different churches, Buddhism has different traditions. Some of the ways that we celebrate are by giving offerings, like we did on the shrine today, food, things that are beautiful, crystals, jewels, lights, things like that. We celebrate by wearing the traditional colors of the robes, which Gladys has done as well, of saffron and maroon. We celebrate by simple meals of rice and milk. Doesn't sound great, but it's mostly the older traditions that celebrate that way. We also celebrate by practicing mantras, chants, meditations, and listening to teachings and prayers. Sometimes, we think that we naturally are kind, we practice kindness and generosity. Today is the day we go above and beyond, and we practice even more. We consciously go out and make offerings of generosity to people in need. So those are some of the things that we do. And also, because it is the day of Buddha's enlightenment, we look at things and make vows to become enlightened ourselves, to take that extra step, to work a little extra hard, not simply for ourselves, but for the benefit of all living beings, the four-legged ones included. So that's one thing that we do to kind of get us in a place of peace and calm. What I'd like everybody to do is both feet on the floor. We're going to do a brief meditation, just simply a breathing meditation that I will talk you through. So hands in your lap, back straight. And if you could just close your eyes, take 3 slow, deep breaths, just to center yourself. Nothing forced, easy breaths. After your deep breaths, just resume breathing normally, but begin to focus on the breath, the sensations that it brings. The air as it enters your nostrils being slightly cool. The rise of your chest and stomach, shoulders, rising up, getting closer to the universe. And as you exhale, the air being slightly warmer, and a sense of settling, connecting to the ground. And just take a few minutes just to keep breathing in this way, consciously being aware. And if you find thoughts entering your mind other than the focus of the breath, acknowledge them, but let them pass. Don't grasp them. Just continue to focus on your breath. As you settle in to this simple breathing meditation, become more aware of the peace that also surrounds you. Take one last breath and then slowly come out of your meditation. And as Nancy did, a deep breath, deep breath. Now we look at what is exactly enlightenment. Again, different traditions teach a little differently. I'm teaching strictly from the Kadampa tradition. So just keep that in the back of your mind. If you think that there's other ways of doing it, you're right, there are. This is just one way. So enlightenment is the cessation of suffering. It's when we purify all of our negative karma, we step into nirvana. Nirvana, heaven, same thing, just different words. Okay, so you can imagine yourself being freed from the continuous cycle of birth, sickness, aging, death, completely free of that and entering a state of nirvana. You can choose, once you hit nirvana, to stay there, but you don't have to. You can become what we call a bodhisattva, which is someone who chooses to be reborn into samsara as a human, to teach, to guide others on the same path to enlightenment. And just because you make that choice doesn't mean you come back and you do it one time. You can do it time after time after time. The most famous, I guess, bodhisattva, somebody that you'll all recognize, I'm sure, is Avalokiteshvara, who is the Buddha of compassion. And when I use the terms Buddha and Bodhisattva, understand that they are one and the same. That when you reach enlightenment, you become a Buddha. Once you're a Buddha, you can choose to come back and become a bodhisattva, a teacher, a guide. Using my cheat sheet for this one because there are 7 paths, parts to enlightenment. So I just want to make sure I tick them all off. Mindfulness is the first one. It's where we develop a compassionate mind, or the mind of bodhicitta. It's where we become more aware of what our actions, our words, our thoughts do to our surroundings, to other people, to ourselves. The study of Dharma. Buddha gave 84,000 teachings. I really don't think any of us are going to hit all 84,000 of them in this lifetime, but we listen to oral teachings, we read texts, we absorb everything that we can, lifetime after lifetime. Energy is the third, and that's simply not becoming complacent, not allowing ourselves to sit back and get too comfortable. We need to step up our game. We need to practice a little more, read a little more, listen a little more, be more compassionate, be more loving. Practice, practice. This is something that we don't go in and just read. We practice this every day. Number 4 is happiness. And it's just simply a matter of finding the joy in everything, everything, everything. From the things that we normally find joy in to the things that are more difficult to find joy in being surrounded by someone maybe who we think is harming us, or someone else, or a large number of people. And remembering that they're actually giving us a gift. It was recently pointed out in a discussion that I had with my teacher. We were discussing politics and the state of our country at this point. And someone else that was in the conversation looked at us and said, well, maybe they're our Buddha, because they're teaching us the hardest gift we have to learn. The gift of patience, gift of understanding, and the gift of loving kindness. Not easy lessons to learn, but ones that need to be worked on by all of us. Fifth is calmness and peace, and the striving to develop that within our minds daily, every day. 6 is concentration through prayer and meditation. And finally, the 7th is equanimity, cherishing all living beings on the same level. Nobody's better than anybody else. We're all the same. We're all in the same boat. We're all here in samsara, stuck here for now. And again, that's not just us human folks. It's the 4-legged ones too. Okay. Dealing with difficult people is something I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to read it now. There's 2 pieces that I wanted to read. The first one is from Thich Nhat Hanh. He wrote a book called Living Buddha, Living Christ, where it compares the two traditions, Living Buddha, Living Christ. And he talks about difficult people and what we do with them. So I'm just going to read, it's just a page and a half. It's pretty short. So what he says is, we often think of peace as the absence of war. That if the powerful countries would reduce their weapons arsenal, we could have peace. But if we look deeply into the weapons, we see our own minds, our prejudices, fears, and ignorance. Even if we transport all the bombs to the moon, the roots of war and the roots of the bombs are still there, in our hearts and our minds. And sooner or later, we will make new bombs. To work for peace is to uproot war from ourselves and from the hearts of men and women, to prepare for war, to give millions of men and women the opportunity to practice killing day and night in their hearts, is to plant millions of seeds of violence, anger, frustration, fear, that will be passed on for generations to come. These are the words of a Buddhist practitioner. In the words of Christ, however, he put it a little differently, but same thing. And he said, "Ye have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. And if any man will sue thee at the law and take away thy coat, let him have thy cloak also. This is Jesus' teaching about revenge. When someone asks you for something, give it to him. When he wants to borrow something from you, lend it to him. How many of us actually practice this? There must be ways to solve our conflicts without killing. We must look at this. We have to find ways to help people get out of difficult situations, situations of conflict without killing. Our collective wisdom and experience can be the torchlight, our path, showing us what to do. So when we talk about enlightenment, being free from suffering means being in the midst of peace, surrounded by it, surrounded by loving kindness, all of that. And again, I know that there are times that are difficult to look at someone who is a little difficult and find the good in them. So one more piece that I want to read is from Shantideva, who is a Buddhist poet. He wrote the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. It's a very long poem. Yes. And there's just a few little pieces in here that where he talks about peace. So I'm just going to read this brief part of the poem. If because of my own shortcomings, I do not practice patience with my enemy, it is not he, but I who prevent me from practicing patience, the cause of accumulating merit. My enemy is the cause of my accumulating the merit of patience, because without him, there is no patience to practice, whereas with him, there is. So how does he obstruct my virtuous practice? Beggar is not an obstacle to people practicing giving any more than an abbot is an obstacle to those wishing to ordain. Indeed, there are many beggars in this world, but people who harm me are extremely rare. In fact, if I had not inflicted harm on others in the past, there would be no one to inflict harm on me now. Just as if some treasure were suddenly to appear in my house without my making any effort to obtain it, I should be delighted to have found an enemy who can help me practice the conduct that leads to my enlightenment. Along with myself, my enemy is the cause of my practicing patience. Therefore, I should first dedicate whatever fruits arise from this practice to the person who is the cause of it. Something to think about. So along those lines, we're going to do another meditation. This one is taking and giving. Some of you may know it. It's one of the short paths to enlightenment if you practice every day. It's a matter of digging deep and connecting to what is difficult, taking on someone else's suffering as well as your own, and purifying it, negating it, making it go completely away. This is where imagination comes into play, but it is a very powerful meditation. So I'm going to ask everybody again, feet on the floor, hands in your lap, in a comfortable position, keeping your back straight. and your eyes closed. And again, just to settle in, taking those couple of deep breaths and feeling connected to the universal energy, to the energy of Mother Earth. And we can start by setting an intention that this meditation is going to be used to help remove the suffering from all living beings. And with that intention, begin to gather the suffering of yourself and then all other living beings in the form of dark smoke into your heart center. And just trust in this process. It's not going to stay there. And as that suffering in the form of smoke enters your heart center, imagine it's dissolving all of your self-cherishing. And all of that is being replaced by complete loving kindness, a sense of peace. Just focus on that for a few minutes. Find that your mind starts to wander again. Just simply bring it back, imagining that smoke dissolving. When all of that has been dissolved, and there's no more suffering, I can imagine that through the power of our pure intention of wishing love and peace for all living beings, infinite rays of light emanate from our bodies to prevail the entire universe, reaching the bodies and minds of all beings. Bringing them supreme happiness and permanent inner peace. For the last minute or two, Alan, if you could play the mantra for me. The mantra that we're going to hear is the mantra for Buddha Shakyamuni. It's Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Soha. You can either just listen or join in.
Oh
No, did leave one thing out. In talking about what is enlightenment, I touched on the removal of suffering. Left out the three poisons in Buddhism, which is greed, anger, and delusions. The elimination of all three of those as well. Something we all have, we don't always like to admit to. I don't want to destroy the meditation that we just had. Does anybody have any comments, reflections? How did the meditation go? Was it easy? Was it hard? Is it something that you would like to do again? Thank you, Rose.
So I felt it was easy. Guided meditations are easier for me at this juncture than just a silent meditation. The silence is wonderful as long as something kind of grounds me beforehand. So I appreciate that type of meditation so much more.
This is the one with the long cord.
Thank you, Deborah. I feel like I'm floating on a big puffy cloud.
Mission accomplished.
Yes, thank you so much. Really
Welcome.
appreciated it.
Yeah, I was surprised that you didn't mention attachment because I had
It's
always heard,
it's a whole nother teaching.
okay.
Okay, yeah. I mean, like I said, there's 84,000 teachings. This is a very small portion of it.
And just that was a key piece I knew.
And it is a big piece. And I can touch on it briefly if you want me to. I mean, we've got time, might as well, right? So attachment and impermanence kind of go hand in hand. We all grasp things, and a different meditation, which we can do at another time if anybody wants to do it, is one where we learn to let go of attachment, let go of self-grasping, which is the core of it, of our suffering. We, as humans, we say the word I a lot. I, my, we. But when we really close our eyes and we look, we can't really find the I. We can't find what it is to be us. We start picking things apart. Is it my hand? Well, no, my hand is not me. Is it my hair? No, my hair is not me. So what makes that up then? Why are we grasping that? Why are we holding on so tightly when this body is going to go away? There's no doubt about it. There's no, you can't hold on to it forever. And this body is just one thing. You know, we all lose things. We all lose people. Cars break down, houses fall apart, friends move away. It's all impermanent. It's all temporary. When we start realizing that, other things start coming into play. And we start looking at things as being more precious than what we might have looked at them before. Did that at least answer a little. I could go on for a very long time, so I'm cutting myself short. So, I hope that helped clarify.
Hey, Janet. Hi, darling.
Hi.
Hi.
So, this has got to be, I mean, I've been coming to Pebble now for 35 years, almost 34 years, and this has to be one of the most peaceful experiences, if not the most, that I have ever had at Pebble. What I see is that it's you that's imbibing this Buddhist way. And that's what I'm experiencing today. It's not so much the information that you imparted. It's who you are that's sinking deep inside of me. And I'm thinking that I assume that sooner or later we would have gotten to know each other, but we got to know each other because I came to Pebble 6.5 months ago, feeling I was having a relapse of my suicidal ideation. And I got up and talked about it. And because of it, you came over to me so Buddhistly compassionate and so Deb compassionate, and just gave yourself to me. And thus we developed this most, lovely friendship. And it reminds me once again of the, I'm looking at these benefits that I got from being suicidal again after 15 years away from it. And, over the months, your nature has really, really helped, been a big part of my recovery. And I see that comes a lot from what you've studied. And I also want to add that I love what you just said about the I, because Jesus addresses that in the Course of Love, which some of you may not know is the continuation of A Course in Miracles, where he literally says, stop using the pronoun I. Find a new way to say things. And this is odd because we were, the whole there's been this whole movement of use I, say I, don't talk about things in general, don't say we, say I. And I do see the value of that, but I also get where it is important, what you're saying, it's important to move on beyond the I. So I'm really glad you brought that up. And
Well,
I
I
love,
think-
yeah, I love.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just love you. That's it.
I think that, to remind ourselves of that, that the I doesn't really truly exist, especially today in this society where we have become so me oriented. So everything revolves around me. To remember that it doesn't, and that it all is going to go away at some point in time is very important if we are to survive. Thank you, Janet. Love you.
I was going to say something. I just wanted to say, I really liked the way there was like teaching and meditation and teaching and meditation. It made the meditating so easy. And I so agree with Janet about how peaceful I feel. Like even my voice feels peaceful.
We tend to lower our voices, which Annie, I apologize because I do. And I know I may have gone down a few notches with my volume. So yeah. But
Yeah, and I would love to have more like this.
My first comment is this deserves a workshop. What you just did would have made a fantastic afternoon.
I would be happy to do that at some point.
The other thing is it brings to mind things I've been feeling, and you just I'm really clumsy at expressing my words, but I've been feeling exactly what you've been talking about. And the other thing, Gandhi put it in wonderful words. and I just have to give a brief, he had just gotten rid of the British through love and non-cooperation and surrender. And civil war breaks out. And the Muslims and the Hindus are killing each other. And one of his Hindu friends comes, his Hindu friend says, "Oh, you cannot give too much power to the Muslims. They're devils. They're devils." And Gandhi said, do you know what Gandhi said?
I can't remember now.
Gandhi said, "The only devil lives in man's heart, which is where all battles should be fought." And this is what you teach today so beautifully.
With the help of Shantideva and Thich Nhat Hanh and a few other, and Buddha. It's not coming from me, guys. This is not coming from me.
I guess I'm going to just follow up that, you gave teachings, but the Buddha, the sitting practice, being able to sit with whatever's going on. And I think that was just a wonderful part of the celebration, giving us the experience of sitting, maybe not under the Bodhi tree, but in Pebble. And for me personally, wintertime, I get cold feet. So I'm sitting here, breathing and doing my best not to be at odds in conflict with my cold feet when they're talking to me. But that's something also just to be at peace with, just letting them be and not go into conflict against that part of me that I have a challenging time with. So, yeah, thanks.
Just wanted to, you were sharing with me before about, it's been about 20 years that you've been on this path. And I wonder how, if this isn't too personal, how does it affect your relationship with your daughter, your mom? And did it help, in what ways did it help you when your mom died?
It helped considerably at that point. So as far as in the initial years, when I first became Buddhist and took my first vows, I would have random people coming up to me and saying, "What are you doing? Because I want more of this. I want to be what you, more like you." My mom was one of those people, and I took her to the Buddhist center with me, but I kind of prefaced it by making sure she understood that this isn't something where, like a lot of churches that we all have experienced, I'm sure, somewhere along the line, where we go in for an hour, 2 hours, and we pretend to listen, and we get outside afterwards and we go about business as usual. This is a place you go, you sit, you listen, and you ask questions. One of the first things the Buddha said was, "Question me. Question every teacher. Never take things at face value." It's a life that you can take Buddhism a couple of different ways. You can take it as a philosophy, listen to the teachings, maybe embrace some of them, but not all of them. Or you can take it to where I have taken it, where I have become a teacher. I practice every day. It is a way of life. And mom never, she had a little mini shrine set up at home, but she never really embraced it wholeheartedly. And does that answer? When she passed away, I'm sorry, I knew there was something else. Yes, so as a Buddhist, part of the teachings that we touched on today when enlightenment, you deal with passing away, you deal with the death. We all know as Buddhists that everything is impermanent. As much as you love someone, you can't hold on to them forever. Does it hurt? Hell yes. I will be the first one to tell you that. But it's also a comfort knowing that they have the possibility of hopefully having purified all of their negative karma, gotten past that, and become enlightened to be in a place of nirvana. And if not, they'll come back and we'll see them again. It is a comfort. Christians believe in heaven. So you die, you go one of two places. In a roundabout sort of way, as a Buddhist, we believe we're already in hell. So that's the continuation of samsara, suffering. So isn't that really a hell realm? Yes, it is. And the only way to get out of that is to work, to really, really work hard, to help other people along that path so that they can also become enlightened, so that they can be freed from the poisons of, anger and delusion and greed and all of the suffering that we feel as living beings. And I can go on, I tend to ramble. Sorry, Moose, go ahead.
My life has been full lately of a lot of things. One of them is synchronicities. And I've begun to incorporate some little things into my life that make it better. And it was inspired by beginning to read a little book by Thich Nhat Hanh, Pieces Every Step. And I don't intend to read right through it. I intend to take it a little bit at a time and incorporate those things into my life. And I was going through, so I have a collection of children's books, which I love. I was going through some of them yesterday, and lo and behold, one of the little children's books was written by Thich Nhat Hanh. And I was so astounded, I had never noticed before. And I just feel as though there's a lot happening to me and with me, and I'm working at a lot of things right now, and my life just feels so full all the time. It feels so explosively happy and explosively full. And for the first time in my life, I feel that I've come to what I'm here for. I mean, I'm 85 years old and I've just begun to understand who I am. And
it's never too late, Moose, never.
Hello?
I'm not sure how this fits in, but this brings back a memory in the 80s. There was maybe there still is, probably still is, a Buddhist center in Center City. Like
There's a few. There's a few in Center City. There's a Kadampa Center in Center City, and there's also a couple of other traditions.
So there was this pretty expansive room off a narrow corridor with a red carpet as far as the eye could see and little sitting pillows. And you would go in and it was complete silence and serenity. It was pretty amazing. But when the people came out of there, it was this narrow
corridor with fluorescent lights, and you went down to a galley kitchen, which was coffee and cigarettes and loud talk. And it just struck me the headwinds that Buddhist teaching are up against in our society, you know? Because these same people would come out of the Serenity and go down there and light up a cigarette and drink coffee and start talking really loud. It was just,
Which brings me to the point that I said earlier. This is a practice.
Yeah.
None of us are perfect. Even, Gladys and Lori and I were at teachings this weekend by a resident teacher from Boston. And one of the things he said was, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I do crazy things, And he's a monk who's been practicing for decades.
yeah.
And yet, so I think the message I'm trying to get across is don't be hard on yourself, or don't be hard on others when you see them slip, or when you see yourself slip, because we are humans still in this life.
Well, that room was magical.
Oh, yeah.
Because you couldn't go in that room and not be part of that serenity. You just couldn't.
There's a serenity to walking into a sacred space.
Yes.
A lot of it, it's an energy. It's, when you think about the amount of, and I don't know, Gladys, have you been to an empowerment yet or no? Have you been to an empowerment yet, Gladys? Okay, so we do, in our tradition, we have empowerments where we receive blessings from a specific Buddha at a specific time. All those energies accumulating in those rooms of all those blessings. I didn't do a full prostration today, which I would normally have done before stepping up to a teaching throne. But there are countless prostrations done. The 15th of every month, we do, in my tradition, and I'm not sure about other traditions, but it's Precepts Day. And it is fasting and constant prostration. So you are up and down and up and down and up and down all day with maybe one break. And then you break the fast when you're done. But that's the energy that we promote in those rooms, which is why you felt that energy, that calmness, that serenity. It's very intentional. Yeah. Oh. We can, or we can skip it. Whichever. So vote of hands, who wants song? Vote of hands, who wants to keep talking?
Andy wants to talk.
Andy, go ahead.
Just a small comment that we look for magic. We look for something special that will come out and join us. And that is when we come into our room of meditation here. I don't know about everybody else, but when I come in this room, it's not I'm asking, or it's not I'm using the room to find out, but this is where I've been and where it has come to me. So I think these things are all letting it happen. It's not that you can go in and say today, I am going to be enlightened about this problem I have. I want to do it today. No, it's something that comes up weeks or years from now, and it merges itself with your mind. It goes like, oh, now I see.
I just wanted to make a quick comment. once I was coming back from Minnesota. I was in a clinical trial at the Mayo Clinic, and there was a Buddhist dressed in the orange garb, shaved head, and he was on the same flight back to Pennsylvania with me. And it turned out there is a big monastery up in Saylorsburg. Have you been there?
I have not been there, no.
But I was amazed. I was amazed that there was even a monastery in this area that was like the ones in Tibet. And he was such a humble person. It was just a good experience talking to him for a little bit, but.
The- Jen?
Yeah,
Hi.
hi. Hi. First of all, I want to say that I absolutely loved everything about this. You've done a wonderful job. I really hope you do the workshop. I've always had an interest in Buddhism. The background that I come from Philly, from parents from Philly. Basically, I was raised the exact opposite way, and that's how I grew up, and I'm still battling with that. Where somebody hits you, you hit right back, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Yeah, I know we don't do that. I know we don't do that, but I still battle with that within myself.
Yeah.
And I would like to start on the path that you are on. What kind of advice would you give somebody like me that wants to?
Well, where do you live?
Well, no, I live in Doylestown, but I'm
Okay.
originally from Philly.
So the center that I belong to is in Lambertville, so it's really not that far. They have classes almost 7 days a week, so you can choose to do a short meditation class, or you can do classes that are more, teaching and then meditation and then more teaching and then more meditation, kind of like what I did today. But I can give you the information if you want that.
Thank you.
Sure.
Does anyone else on Zoom have any comment they'd like to make before we get near the end and we turn off the Zoom?
Hello.
Is that George?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, George.
Hello. I want to repeat what Janet said about like, for example, I didn't understand the words on the video, but I did absorb Deborah's presence and her conveying of the whole thing. So that's basically what I'm trying to say. And also, I have a question about attachment, but I'll save that for another day. And thanks, Deb, for your presentation.
You're very welcome, George.
Okay.
Thank you.
Joanne?
Hi,
Hi,
Joanne.
Deb. Thank you for your presentation. Loved it. What is the name of the center in Lambertville?
It's Menla Kadampa Buddhist Center, or
Thank you.
actually it's Menla Kadampa Meditation Center now. We've upgraded.
Thank you.
It's on North Union, where the old yoga studio used to be. For now, till February.
That reminds me, there's something that's come up. There's a lady in the Lambertville area, I think named Janice, who would love to start coming, but she needs a ride. I don't know if anybody is from out that way, but if possible, see me. So want to go to the closing song then. And thank you. He bows to Deb. Thank you. Thank you.
One, two, three, four.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's it's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living a life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
I don't know if you recognize that that's his son, Julian. And that was a concert for Ukraine. So when that war began, thank you for a beautiful day. There's clearly an appetite for more. So bless us with that. We'll talk as the new year comes and we get further into it. I would just kind of like to plant a seed that even the dogs is an opportunity for us to practice, right? You know, you can have that little, why don't they take the damn dog out? Let's learn to abide. Let's learn to abide with all the little thingies that distract us. It's a good practice to learn to tolerate the distraction, the thing that's keeping you from feeling peaceful. So let's remember that. Yeah.
And if you think you can't do that, when I first started going to Menla, we were in a building that had hardwood floors. It was an older building on North Union that had hardwood floors. And upstairs was a piano teacher who wore high heels all the time. And across the hall from us was a ballet studio. So imagine, the dogs are nothing, trust me, when you try to get yourself into a zone of meditation, when you've got music and thumping and banging and upstairs and the dance studio next door. So if you don't think you can do it, trust me, you can, okay? It's
So big thanks to Deb. Reminder about this Koinonia. There's a .org, koinoniafarm.com. If you want to buy some things from this catalog. And next, don't forget that Saturday is at 3 p.m. the concert with Raphael and Christina Margot. It's the doors will open at 3. So she outlined it for me. Little cocktail hour with music that's not them from 3 to 4. 4 o'clock is Raphael and Tina and others. And then 5 o'clock will be like the CDs and more food and drink and that sort of thing. So the hour of Tina and Raphael is 4 to 5. And it's okay to get here at 3:30 or whatever. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So please come. And it is CDs. Nancy thought it might be vinyl, but it's CDs that they'll be selling.